Thank you, and thank you to our other four speakers. Wonderful first session. Great presentations. I'd like to hand the microphone now over to Dr. Paul Stackhouse, who will facilitate our Q&A session. If you'd like to ask or answer a question, feel free to use the raise hand feature and unmute your mic. The session will last for approximately 10 minutes, and then we'll hear from our next round of lightning talk presenters.
Well, thanks everyone. We really appreciated all the speakers today. I actually see all this, and I'm gonna hopefully I can pronounce it, Sarah Van. So nice to see all those colleagues behind you. That you invited the whole group there. That's wonderful. Typically, we're just going to ask you for all the speakers if you'd like to chime in on various different, well, if there's parameters that aren't available that would really be helpful to you. Is there some data formats that would be more preferable? Is, any sorts of suggestions or things that would help you make decisions you make even, even easier to make. Would love to hear those suggestions. We're really thankful for your participation. So yeah, I'll just put out that first question.
Hi, this is Nicholas Anderson from the SIF team. I mean, the only thing I could say that no one really has would be like 15-minute interval, like TMY data. That would probably be ideal for us.
Okay. Well, 15 minutes, we don't have the, well, first of all, when you say TMY, so is that statistical? Usually those are statistical, they're called the typical meteorological year parameters. So are you looking for statistical sets of statistics at that resolution? We do provide time series data products, but have not rolled up. We do provide climatological averages. So you can get those, but so just curious. So are you typically using our climatological averages as a proxy for TMY, or maybe you could go into that just a little bit?
I can go into it a little bit. Yeah, essentially we're pulling the climatology data and kind of abstracting it to our TMY format. We're just passing it through a couple clear sky algorithms that we need to have for more accurate data on the site.
Okay, well, thank you for that suggestion. So is there any other comments? We do appreciate your use of the data products. Talked about some of the changes upcoming. Do you see anything that might help your work coming forward? Is the API response time good enough? Is the latency of the products sufficient? Any other comments about the data quality or the way we provide the data?
Sorry, this is Nick again. I know that since you guys have rolled out to AWS, I was curious if there's plans for creating your own AWS Lambda layer for accessing the data. I don't know if, so then we could essentially attach it to our Lambdas without having to, keep the code updated ourselves if there's any changes.
So currently you can just connect directly to our backend data store, which is in an S3 bucket. So you can connect to the full data archive and actually bypass the API and bring it right into your routines in any Python language. So if you send us an email, we can provide you some helpful links, and we can even schedule a meeting. So that goes for anybody too. So we like obviously talking to our users. So send us an email, and we'll definitely schedule some time to help and show some other options too.
All right, yeah, that would be great because I think we implemented the APIs, before you went to AWS. So I'm not as familiar with that offering. So thank you.
Yep. We're definitely here to help.
Has anyone, one of the things that we do care about is the data quality, and sometimes, perhaps there in India, maybe you have some surface measurements that you utilize, or if there's other, just looking for some of the aspects of the data that seem to be most indicative of quality. Have you seen some issues or trends or anything that cause any concern? Is there any other assessment of the data products from your particular applications? Certainly welcome. Certainly welcome any comments on those sorts of issues.
Yeah, how I said, the data is quite accurate. So yeah, we tested it with several measurements from real installations. So I have nothing to complain about this, but I also wanted to say that the TMI would be a very nice solution that would be possible for the API. And theoretically, I could calculate it myself, but then I need to ask for, say, the last 10 years of data, and that's a huge amount. So yeah, I would be also interested for the TMI solution.
Well, maybe we can have an offline discussion about the TMY statistics. You can now, with our version 10, you'll be able to say, you can select climatological temporal averages for data. And you can pick the actual date range that you want your climatology computed over. So in other words, we have support arbitrary. So even though we have up to 40 years of data, you can order for the last 10 years, the last 15, the last 20, and maybe that would help you reduce the number of calculations you have to do. Now, but when you say TMY, those are specific ways to select statistically various different parameters. So we'd like to maybe talk to you more about that. One of the difficulties of TMY is that, for instance, if you pick a solar-based TMY, a lot of times what they'll find is they'll pick like a maximum, a minimum month, or a characteristic month for the entire time series, and then provide all the statistics for that quote unquote characteristic month or extreme month. So some of the other, so as long as you are consistent with the month that you pick and get all the stats for that month, so that your temperature and humidities and all correlate, that's one of the things that we do with the feature with the time series, everything is correlated. So if you have an increase of solar irradiance, but it's accompanied by drier conditions, less humid, higher temperatures, that'll all be represented in the time series data. So all the extremes come through in the time series data. But we do offer daily average data. So we've talked somewhat about hourly because hourly was something we introduced last year, but we have traditionally offered daily averages for all the parameters, and you can order monthly and annual averages as well. and as well as the climatological. So we do offer the ability to generate statistics and get the data. You don't have to order just hourly data. You can get temporal average statistics too.
We also have the max, min, and the standard deviation components for the annual and the climatology ones as well. So if you do need those to compute anything else, we do have those components.
Right. So
And hourly based annual and monthly data too.
right. So Bradley, thank you, Bradley. Just added that if you order the monthly and annual or the climatological data, you can also get the statistics with that.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thanks again. Really appreciated your presentations. We're really excited the way you use the data and serve your customers, and we're just happy to be a part of that. So I think we're ready for our second round of lightning talks. So take it away, Claire.
Yep, thank you all for your engagement during the Q&A session. Feel free to continue to post your questions in the chat and stay tuned for our feedback sessions.